Hey there, it's Dusty with another AITA story from Reddit for you. This one is Am I the Astronaut for asking my partner to cancel his overseas trip because my dad is about to pass away. It seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to ask given those circumstances. This is a long one, sorry. So my 25 female boyfriend of almost a decade, 25 male, has a trip to the US with uni planned for in a few weeks' time. For context, we live in Australia, so it's a significant distance away. My dad is terminally ill. Like any day could be his last terminally ill. My boyfriend and I live together, and he is my closest friend here in Aussie. I'm really afraid of him not being there if anything were to happen with my dad, which is very likely. So I want him to drop out of this trip. I know it's not a nice thing to ask. Yes, he would be missing out on an expenses-paid trip to the States, but I'm losing a parent. I battle with my mental health even on my best days, and naturally, at the moment, I'm really struggling knowing my dad won't make it to Christmas. I can't do this on my own. By this point, you may have made up your mind, however, this isn't the complete picture. A week after he would be getting home, I'm supposed to be leaving on my own trip to the UK. This trip is self-funded and has cost me thousands for those wondering, and on this trip, I am meeting up with my best friend who lives in the UK as well as my closest friend besides my partner, who is flying in from the US. These people constitute my support network, and we have never had the opportunity to meet in person until now. I can't not go. I will be with people I love dearly. I will also be celebrating my birthday during the trip. So how can I ask my partner to stay home with me and then leave on my own trip just after? It's not exactly fair. If he goes, leaving me here alone, and my dad passes, I will be destroyed. Yes, I have family here who can offer help, but not when it's 3 a.m. and I can't breathe because my feelings have consumed me. If I go, no, I won't have him, but I will have my other closest friends for support. These people are my ride or dies. There is also the possibility of nothing happening with my dad, and if my partner stays home for nothing, I'll feel immense guilt. If he stays home, I will feel guilty regardless when I leave. Unfortunately, my going with him isn't financially feasible. While he has only had to pay a few $100s, I would have to pay the full amount, and I'm only working part-time at the moment. Plus, that's even more time that I'm out of the country. Also, he doesn't have to go on this trip. In previous years, students have had to miss out due to there being too many of them. This year, there weren't too many, so everyone had the opportunity to go. This is to say he isn't screwing anyone else over by not going. If anything, it gives him more time to write up his report, which is the most important part that he hasn't started. I don't know. I welcome feedback and opinions, just please be respectful. I'm torn and frustrated and really frickin' depressed. Most expenses, not all. Yes, I know they're real. We have been friends for a few years and regularly FaceTime, etc. Oh, okay. Responses to some comments where people were like, hey, are you sure these people are real? That your internet friends that you're going to go meet up? And then most expenses paid. So this is tough. This is, Kai, yeah, it's like, so this is like an inner dialogue, right? So she's struggling with this. She understands she's the asshole. She's like, I get it. And then for me to still plan on going on my trip and asking him to stay, it's incredibly selfish. I know that it's incredibly selfish. So like, how, like, are these feelings truly making me a terrible person? Like, is it as bad as I think it is? Maybe that's where she's at. She's like, is it as bad as I think it is? Once again, the fantabulous Candy Thunder. Oh my God, it's Candy Thunder. Hello. What do you think?
I don't know what I think. I think that I'm like, I think I need to fidget with something.
This is the fidget toy.
I think that it's not fair to ask him to skip his trip. She said that if she's not going to skip her trip, self-funded trip, because if something happens to her dad while she's gone, then she'll be with friends. So I don't know.
So I could see this happening, not happening, but I could see it being a conversation, because there are times where I'm like, hey, I've got about 3 hours worth of work I have to do tonight. And you will say to me, I know I'm selfish, but I want you to come to bed. And it'll be like I have to get this stuff done. I'll get here as soon as I can. Or you know what? I'll punt this stuff to tomorrow. And and let's cuddle up. But explaining how you're feeling to your partner is one thing. Asking him not to go, and I'm gonna teach you a term, OP. It is opportunity cost. It is not the money. It is not the monetary like loss here. You're using him not paying for this trip over and over again as some kind of evidence to support that it wouldn't be a big impact. That is not accurate, because the opportunity cost here is a once in a lifetime trip where he gets to go experience something. That experience is valuable. It is not a monetary value. It is a life experience value. So don't act like there's no value attached to it, because there most certainly is.
Right.
Then again, I understand he's your blankie. He's your person, and you want your person there when you know you're going to go through something really difficult, but you also have stated that you're going to have your support network, your ride or dies, the week after he would be getting, the week after he would be getting back. You're planning to see them anyway. And hell, what if something happens to your dad while you're gone?
Well, she said that they would be there to comfort her.
But she wouldn't be there for her dad. Like, there's a lot of questions there.
I'm going to look at this as a parent. If I'm terminally ill, and I know that something...
I do not like this example.
I know that something is going to happen to me, and my child...
I will save you.
My child has a trip planned like this. I want them to go on the trip. Like, something's happening to me either way. Whether or not you're here, or whether or not, like, go do something that's going to fill your cup. The boyfriend, too. Like, go... That's how I would look at it. Go on the trip. Because that is better than sitting by my bedside watching what's going to happen to me. Yeah. And I feel that in my soul. I've always felt that in my soul. I don't want my kids to see that. Like, I don't want them there for that. I would rather them go on the trip. Like, that's how logically, that's the only way my brain is making sense of this. I don't think it's fair for her to ask him to not go on his trip, and then for her to be like, but justification for my trip is X, Y, and Z. And I understand that it's her dad. It just doesn't seem fair. Like you said, this is, he's having help with the funding on this trip. And so it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah. That funding isn't going to come back around. And so I feel like I don't know. I just don't feel like it's fair to ask him to either cancel them both or don't cancel them at all. Well,
so I'm going to go a little bit of a different angle here. Because I feel like, OP, it's okay to explain to your partner how you feel. Like our example a minute ago.
Yeah.
You explain how you feel and be like, I know this is incredibly selfish, but this is like what I want. But I would never ask that, because I could never ask that.
Right.
And this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I want you to go. And Ellen, your comment there about, this has nothing to do with the dad. It's how it's going to make her feel after she loses him. So like the physical presence there isn't an issue. So even if she's gone, she's with her support network, and that's probably best case scenario here. But I think her expecting him, maybe not even expecting, her wanting him to stay behind and miss out on a once in a lifetime opportunity to be her support is understandable, but is also selfish. She can't ask that. He can offer it. He can offer it. She can't ask. That's the dynamic. That's the only thing that would make it okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And they've been together for a decade, so obviously the boyfriend has to have feelings on this too. Yeah. But
also, I'm going to go an entirely
really.
I'm going to go an entirely different direction here, from what you said about when you're at the end of days and you don't want the kids there. I want y'all there. While I'm shitting myself and drooling everywhere, I want you there every minute.
No, you do not.
Smelling everything, wiping my chin. No, this is documentation. You go back. It's on the internet now. It's forever. I want you there. Not. I'm just kidding.
That's not his.
I'm just kidding. I don't want you to see that shit either. I want her to see it.
He told me to. I'll take care of you. I got you.
Yeah.